Well done guys, and congrats on progressing this far in the project. So just a general explanation here. So I've completed the work of the sewage, the vents, the water, and the ducts up to this point. So basically all of the points that we discussed. But I've encountered some interesting issues here in the lower levels. Let me just go over to the VV and uncheck the architecture box, so we just have the structure visible. All right, I just have to go over here to the right view, and then here we have the sewage, the water, the vents, and the ducts of this project. And I've done the sorting of the items here as the same as the AutoCAD file. And as you can see here, we have the cover, the sewage, the water, then we have the fire and the cooling, then we have the exhaust, and then the HAP, which is actually about the software and the mechanical calculations that they've done with the HAP program, and they've posted the results here, which we'll leave for now. Then we have the dry towel, and then we have the duct gaps and the spaces here on the right. So basically all of the spaces required for the ducts have been highlighted. Then they've magnified the spaces and specified what kind of ducts will be used in each section. So as I've previously stated, we can't really trust the specifications of these sections because, for example, here it says 1.9 meters, but they haven't actually taken the hangers in account, and there are a lot of issues that might happen that are not visible in the 2D view, like when we had the plumbing fixtures on top of the beams, and events like these which they haven't actually thought about, which will cause some changes in the paths, which will cause uncoordinations. So basically we can't really trust these, but they can help us when we're starting the work. But you should finally only hand the plans that you've made to the execution. And you should only do this with the help of a design architect, or if you're a design architect yourself, you'll have enough information on the facilities matter. And if you're managing the project using an app like Revit, you can have much more control over the whole process. And those who are specifically mechanics can work the Revit mechanics, and those who are adept in structure can work with the Revit structure as well. So basically everyone can stay committed to their own disciplines and work the project as they like. So overall, these are the structures that you will be working with, which I've named here as well. And you can also specify in your BEP plan how the sorting of the items here can be done. And it should be done on the same principle for all of the team. The same in the mechanics, the structure, and the architecture, and the electricians as well. So overall, I've done these based on the CAD file. And as you may remember, we've discussed these steps before, but I'll just give you a quick reminder. In order to do the sorting here, first I've gone to the View tab, then open up the Plan Views and the Floor Plan, then uncheck this box over here, and selected the original formation that we had here, then opened up the Type Properties, and created the views under the type as you can see here. As an example, I'll create a view for the HAP and the software calculations. For example, if you're doing this with Revit MEPs, I'll create a view here which I'll name Space Plan, which we'll have to do the spacing inside of. Alright, then I'll hit OK. Then I'll open up the dry towel plan where we can assign the template. For this, I'll choose the mechanical plan preset, and for the subdiscipline, I'll put in space. Then apply and OK. Then OK once again. Then finally, I'll hit OK here, and then we'll have the space item created here under the mechanical group. And there we go. Now I can open this up, then go to the floor plans, and for example, this lever here, I'll change the naming of this one to space. Then copy this and hit no on the received message. Because we've already done the namings, but we don't need to do the labels now, and we just want to change the view. We usually use space in the cooling and the heating, but we don't normally show it in the drawings. Alright, then I'll change this one as well. Hit no on the message. And as you can see, the rest of the process is just going through the levels and renaming them to space as the example here. Alright, then we have this level here, which we'll rename to space again. And then we have the last one over here. Now, if we open up any of the levels, we'll see the space plan that we have, and we can work with like here. Now you can open up the visibility graphics menu and uncheck the modeling sections. As an example, you can uncheck the MEPs that you have over here, then uncheck the pipes as well, the flex ducts, the flex pipes, and uncheck anything that's not necessary. So we basically try to just keep the plan itself so that I can do the spacing using the tools that we have under the Analyze tab. And this is actually about the calculations of the work. And another point is that I can select the levels of the space plan here, then go over here and open up the view template settings. And let's see if we have the space planning here. Alright, I haven't created it yet, so I'll create a duplicate of this and I'll rename the new one space plan. Alright, then I'll hit OK. And then I'll do the change to the settings over here, which will be done to all of the levels. And the changes here, you already know yourselves, I don't have to explain them again. Alright, so I'll go through these and uncheck and check the ones that we need for now, and then finally I'll hit apply, and the changes will be done to all of the levels under the space plans. So that's how we can create a space plan here and do the changes to it. But now we're going to go under the fire plans, then start from the underground sections and go up. And let's see here in the AutoCAD file, the fire plan that we have on the left. Now we can model the fire extinguishing pipes in the